one of the few times I'm going to read the directions. Welcome back to the channel. This is a very unique video, one that's important to me. I'm putting together as we talk the Harbor Freight 20-ton central machinery hydraulic press. But that's not what this video is about. I wanted to talk about some tractor-based YouTube channels, the YouTubers that run those channels, and what they've meant to me. I'm certainly not going to go into all the channels that are available. There's a ton of them, and there's some very good ones, and guys that are new to it, like myself, and others that have been around for a long time and set the standard. So as I work today, I'm going to talk about those channels and just give you, I don't know, some insight and some experience about what they've meant to me, and you know how you may find them helpful in your journey. Hope you enjoy it. I'm not sure what order to start in. I guess I'll start with what I consider to be the king when it comes to tractor influencers, and that's Tim and Christy Marks from Tractor Time with Tim. I have learned so much from Tim. Now, when you watch their channel, I would highly recommend, first of all, I'd recommend that you subscribe to their channel because it'll allow you to get all their playlists. And one of my favorite parts of Tractor Time with Tim, Tim grew up on a farm. He lives in southern Indiana now, grew up in a farm in northern Indiana that has been in his family for generations, and has a lot of great videos of Tim and Christy going back home and helping work the farm. You get to see some great equipment, but more than anything else, you're going to see the absolutely just heartwarming relationship that Tim and his family have for each other. I mean, that means a lot to me. It really does. I mean, if I want an instructional tractor video, I can get it. But with Tim, you get to meet the family, and you'll fall in love with him like I did, especially the videos with Tim's late dad. His dad is the salt of the earth. I'll say this too, it's not by coincidence that you're going to notice that a lot of the people that have meant a lot to me are Midwestern people. I happen to live in Western New York. People here in New York, they think New York City. I'm 500 miles west of New York. I've actually always thought that my upbringing was more akin to a Midwestern upbringing. But a lot of these guys grew up on farms. And when you grow up at a farm, you get to be a jack of all trades. You learn not just about tractors, but about everything, about life, about agronomics, about biology, and animal husbandry, and everything else. So these guys have a wonderful background that I'm going to talk to you about, none more than Tim. And you will learn a lot from Tim. His programming is very diverse. A lot of it's heartwarming. You'll see their wonderful daughter, Katrina. I judge a man by just a few simple things, and I can tell you it's not by the size of his wallet. It's first and foremost by the relationship that he has with his wife. Actually, I guess not first and foremost, because I think it's his relationship with God would be first. Secondly, would be with his wife, and thirdly, with his children. And I can tell you, Tim and Christy check off all those boxes. The relationship that they have with God, that's very apparent, but they don't preach. The relationship that they have with each other, the relationship that they have with their daughter Katrina, and as I mentioned, the relationship with their family. You will learn a lot from Tim and Christy Marks. So the next one I want to talk about is relatively new to me. I just started watching his channel probably a month ago, and it's Neil Koch with Drive DYI. I got to tell you, when I watch this guy's channel, I got to remind myself that he's 20 years younger than me, because you cannot watch him work and think, oh my gosh, here I'm sitting watching TV, this guy is absolutely killing himself working, but he loves every minute of it. Here again, the things that I talked about with Tim and Christy, same thing with Neil and his beautiful wife, and they have the two most beautiful angelic twin daughters. He He's the best dad. He really is, along with being a fantastic husband and provider. Now, he also has a family farming background. I love when Neil will stand on his property and point in one direction at a house way off in the distance, say, that's the house I grew up in. That house over there is my brother. That house over there is my cousin. So consequently, when he does jobs, he's got a tremendous amount of family involved, and I love that. But his channel is super, super diverse. Yeah, there's tractor stuff on it that we all love. Neil also uses wood to heat his home. So you'll learn a lot about wood boilers, at least I did, but also how he's able to procure this wood. It is absolutely with the sweat from his brow. I mean, the guy works. He's also an agronomist, so he's got some wonderful background with soil and technology and what have you. Watch Neil Koch with Drive DYI. You'll get addicted like I am. Outdoors with the Morgans. You start to notice a pattern developing here. I mean, I love tight-knit families, and you won't find anybody more tight-knit than the Morgans. Beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. What gets me and puts a lump in my throat is the relationship that I see Mr. and Mrs. Morgan have with their autistic son. Boy, I think God gives children like that with challenges to just certain people, and they are equipped to handle that young boy. And it's just a wonderful story to see. Plenty of tractor stuff. He's a Kubota guy. I love Kubotas. I've had Kubotas, as I've told you before. And he also is big time into the wood business. So you'll see him harvesting wood. You'll see him having it on his mill and so on and so forth, and with just various things throughout the property. Also a lot of insight. He is a very smart, insightful man, and I'm addicted to them as well. You will be too, I promise you. So now let's talk about, and by the way, these are in no order. This is just off the top of my head. Let's talk about Courtney from Good Works Tractor. So Courtney has been, I think he's had his channel 4 or 5 years, and he originally sold used tractors. Then he kind of morphed into dealing with tractor attachments and stopped with the used tractors, and now is back selling used tractors. The guy has a wealth of knowledge. Let me show you something. This is my newest attachment, and I got it from Courtney. It's a Dirt Dog. It's a double roller soil pulverizer, and I'm excited about using it, but I have to tell you my experience in dealing with Courtney, shipping, it was a Sunday afternoon that I contacted him. I didn't think he'd reach out. He did. We actually had the deal done in about 2 hours. Saved me almost $1,000 versus a Frontier. I think he's a good guy. I think he's extremely knowledgeable, and his channel is entertaining as well. You'll learn from Courtney at Good Works Tractor. So this is about together. By the way, if you ever put this together, they tell you when you mount these to tighten them all the way up, and then what you're supposed to do is to lift this up and get it on the spring. Yeah, good luck. So what I ended up having to do was to back them out almost all the way so that I could lift this whole assembly up, hook it on, and now I'm tightening it down. Let's look at 2 more real quick, and they're both almost neighbors of mine. I live in the Western New York area, as I mentioned. Everything Elliott. He does a great job. He's a Kubota guy. A lot of great snow plowing videos. You'll find him very informative. He just switched to a pretty large rear mount snowblower, and that's pretty interesting. Last but definitely not least, and you may have not heard of him, it's Biff's Equipment, B-I-F-F'-S Equipment. He has a smaller Kubota, very similar to the tractor I used to have, but I'm telling you what, you watch him, go to his channel, subscribe, and then look at his playlist and find where he's working with his front end loader. The guy is a master. He doesn't, I don't believe he even has a box blade, but he does a lot of grading work. And I'm telling you, he makes me feel like I have never been on a tractor before in my life. He's a really good guy too. We've been communicating. He also offered to make some bolt-on hooks for me for my front bucket. Really good guy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's informative. I have left out 100 people, but these are the main ones that I watch and I've learned an awful lot from. And I hope you guys will too, and subscribe to these guys' channels. It helps them out. That's, you know, we all like to know that people are enjoying what we're doing. God bless you all, and thank you so much for watching Tractors in Life.